Howdy, friends! Welcome back to the couch. It's Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond. I got myself a brand new tripod to do this, so no more stacking my phone up against a bunch of books. We've got a little bit more of a stable shot. Hopefully it looks good for you. I have some backup saves, which is mostly in case something goes wrong with the recording and I have to go back in the story and do it again. But it came in handy because if you'll recall, at the end of the last episode, I said that I couldn't remember who gives you the clue of what to do with the Levistone. I knew what to do with it. I've played this game before. But it's this elf right here. Do you remember him? He was the sage who was saying that, oh, I'm waiting for the future to be revealed to me when the time is right. Well, it turns out the time was right when we were on the other side of the planet digging the Levistone out of the ice cave. By the power of the Levistone, a great sail rises into the sky from the sand sea below the crescent. So it's a little flowery, but he's talking about the desert to the south of Crescent Lake, which is where we got our airship. And that's where we're going to be going today. We have our airship. And now we can go literally anywhere. For example, here's a town right now that you cannot get to without the airship because it's surrounded by mountains. So we're going to go inside this new town. This is Gaia. Just like he said, outsiders often call our town the Eye of the Hawk. To our south is an ancient city known as the Wing of the Hawk. Alright, well, let's see what's going on in Gaia. They have a lot of magic shops. They've got 2 right here, and they have 2 up there. And there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a nice little lake. In weapon and armor shop, let's see what kind of magic we can get in Gaia. Blizzaga, 30,000 gil, and Break, which Julius cannot learn, but he can learn Blizzaga, so we are going to get it for him. We're going to be doing a bit of a side quest today, because you can't learn any more magic. Kiraja, the best healing spell, and Diaja deals damage to all enemies. Brock cannot learn either of these. At some point, we are going to have to find a way to level up our magic abilities, and that's what we're going to do today. Busy, 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 swish, swishery. This one doesn't speak backwards. That broom's always trying to weasel its way out of its chores. I don't know what to do with it. I don't believe it. You're outsiders, aren't you? How did you make it up this high in the mountains? Can you fly or something? Nah, that's impossible, right? Right? Have you visited the Wing of the Hawk? I can't understand a word they say there. I have not visited the Wing of the Hawk yet. My dad was always telling me how the castle to the west was a place to test your courage. A fairy was living in our spring, but I haven't seen her lately. I wonder what's happened to her. Let's see what other kind of equipment is in Gaia. A ruby armlet and a protect ring. These are really good. A ring that guards against instant death. We're going to get 4 of these. Spend a bunch of money, everyone's going to get one. Even Fugen, because it is a little bit better for his defense, and he gets some value out of it. Defense plus 8, he would need to have a stamina stat of 64 to balance out what gets lost. And we'll also buy a ruby armlet for Julius. We were swimming in Gil, but that has quickly been spent. Yeah, things are getting expensive. So it's great axe, the staff, and a couple of mithril shields I'm not using. Mithril helms, leather cap, I'm going to keep these. The knight's armor I don't need anymore. Mithril gloves I'm going to sell. Leather gloves I'm going to sell. Silver armlet I can sell. That I'm keeping. Clothes can go. Alright, excellent. I got a little bit of our money back. Let's see what kind of weapons we have. Just the cat claws. No one could equip these. This is a dagger. A weapon with razor sharp blades. Alright, no worries. We will continue on. Visit the next set of magic shops. The item shop is just the item shop. I've got lots of items. They say a special water called oxyale gushes from the bottom of our spring, but only fairies can draw it out. Holy, null all, reduce damage from spells by half, so that's all of them. And dispel, these are level 8 spells. Brock cannot learn these at all. We would need a white mage for level 8. Let's see what kind of level 8 black magic we have. Stop. Stops time and paralyzes all enemies. Banishes enemies to another dimension. That's warp. And kill instantly kills one enemy. Again, Julius cannot learn these. So we've hit a bit of an impasse. There are other things to do in Gaia, but we're going to embark on a bit of a side quest today. This is not a mandatory side quest, but it is recommended. Especially if you have wizards, because otherwise they just cannot learn all of their spells. We're going to start visiting these islands. These are the dragon caves. And there's treasure down here. 2,000 gil, 2,750 gil, 1,455 gil. We are stealing treasure from dragons. I'm sure it's fine. What could go wrong? Here's a dragon right now. Only the truly brave can obtain a token of their courage. 9,500 gil, 1,520 gil, 2,750 gil, and an X potion. That's a new item. An X potion fully restores HP. Very useful. So these dragons are friendly dragons. They are not enemies. But they live in these warrens, these caves and tunnels under these islands. So we'll just pop by and visit them all. Here's another one. Once long ago, there was an age when man and dragon lived together. Now they don't, and that's all he says. There's nothing else in here. We're learning a little bit about the dragons. So the thing with the airship, you can't land on marshy tiles like this. You can't land on forests. You can't land in the water, obviously, even though it's a ship of sorts. You can only land on this green grass. You need a nice open, solid ground to land on. Dragon caves. What else have we got? Once long ago, the Northland was filled with beautiful shrines and towering mechanical castles. So very long ago. The dragons of the Cardian Islands have no love of senseless killing. Cottage, 1,000 gil. It is a rare thing to have humans visit us here. If you are valiant warriors, you should speak with Bahamut, our king. An elixir. I think that's a new item too. An elixir fully restores HP and MP. Handy as we traverse the dungeons. Bahamut became a staple of Final Fantasy, and it all started right here. You can also land on this kind of light green grass with the airship. But it's just these two kinds of grass. Tent, very nice. You do not fear me. You have some spine in you, human. You guys aren't attacking us. You're friendly dragons. Dry ether and a gold needle. And what does a dry ether do? 5 MP for each magic level. That's also very useful. So we'll hold on to those for the next dungeon delve. Alright. What else have we got? We've got these holes right here. take a look. Have you spoken with our king, Bahamut? The Dragon King confers a great honor upon the brave. Well, we've been told that we're brave. It's customary for dragons to venture northeast to the Citadel of Trials. There we must test our mettle by claiming a token of courage from within. The form of the token of courage changes with the times. Do not let its appearance deceive you. So that is a bit of a clue for us. This tunnel is very, very long. Oh, who is this? This is the chamber of Bahamut, the Dragon King. Mind your tongue. The Dragon King looks within to measure a person's true courage. He's much bigger in the Pixel Remaster than he was in the original. He was slightly different. His sprite was a little bit different from the regular dragons, but he was still only the same height as, your characters. Let us talk to the Dragon King. I am the Dragon King, Bahamut. I confer honor upon those whose strength and courage are true. Return to me with a token of your courage. And that's all he says. And of course, we got some clues while we were exploring the Cardia Islands. That we need to go to the Citadel of Trials. We need to find a token of courage. And we were also told that this castle is a place where people test their courage. And here it is. This is the castle we're going to. But, note, there's nowhere to land nearby. The closest spots, there's this spot right here. We can land here. Or we can land kind of over here. So these are the two places we can land the airship. There's a third way we can get here. If we go get our ship, which is down by Crescent Lake, sail to the south, we can dock it at this river here, and then just kind of waltz on over. But since we're already here, we'll pop our airship down. I'm going to turn the encounters back on. They were off for a little bit there from the last episode, and we'll make our way to the Citadel, because there's lots of new enemies to encounter here. Were-tigers, lesser-tigers, saber-tooths. Now, we've fought the lesser-tigers before. These are the were-tigers. Gonna see if we can't put some guys to sleep. And we're gonna try some spells. Let's try Blizzaga. That's new. Let's give that a go. Now we put a couple of guys to sleep. Icy spell. Good damage. Knocked them all out. Easy peasy. But we did get poisoned in the process. Fortunately, we're fully stocked on antidotes. Away we go. So it's still a bit of a trial just to get to the Citadel. Wyverns, these are new as well. These are dragons. Got the coral sword on. Let's stick on the worm killer just to have it. But I think I should stick up a null blaze. I believe they breathe fire. They're dragons. I assume they do, but I don't actually know. I don't remember anyway. Let's try Thundaga on them. They might be poisonous or venomous as well, because I believe wyverns in Dungeons & Dragons lore have venomous barbs in their tails. Alright. Okay, he was venomous, yes. Yeah, Fugin got a little bit of poison in him. Isn't that the way? A little bit of fire to toast these werebeasts. Ooh. Now they do hurt, though. Alright, level up. Level 30. 27 strength, 7 intellect, 22 luck for Arthur. Brock gets a point of intellect, a point of luck. Just HP for Fugin, but he's past 400 now. Is he catching up to... Oh no, Arthur's still got a lot more hit points than he does. Well, we'll see how this progresses as time passes. Just hop a little canoe. Alright, and here it is, the Citadel of Trials. We're gonna camp out before we go inside. And we will test our courage. After we fight these basilisks. Well, okay, that one ran away. Basilisks can petrify you. That's their whole deal. Julius, level 30. Agility 15. Intellect 36. Luck 18. In fact, finding basilisks in Dungeons and Dragons, for example, in Baldur's Gate 1, is always a terrifying ordeal because it's a quick way to a game over. Welcome to the Citadel of Trials. You come bearing the crown, I see. Your fortitude cannot be questioned, indeed not. Very well. I shall grant you the right to undergo the trials. Go now, sit upon the throne. Your courage will be put to the test. If true courage dwells within you, you will find proof of it here. And away we go. There's nothing else in this room. We sit upon the throne, and we're teleported into the Citadel of Trials. With this version, you can see that these pillars have a bit of light in them, and it's a little bit more obvious where you're supposed to go. In the original, they were just regular old pillars, and there was no specific indication as to what you were supposed to do until you accidentally walked into one, and it teleported you to the next room. Kind of an interesting little experience. Minotaur zombies. So they'll be undead, which means that they will be weak to fire. So we can get some extra damage off on them with that. Alright, where are we now? Alright. Wait, King Mummy. Again, more undead. We're just going to burn them. Easy. The chest contained a potion. Great. Minotaur zombies. Probably didn't even need the magic that time. We're doing okay. We're pretty strong at this point in the game. Alright, with this one, I believe this is the pillar to take. Yes. But as you saw with the magic points that we couldn't learn, the magic that we couldn't learn, we need to do something to increase our abilities and increase our overall strength. And that's what we're doing. Rakshasa. The Rakshasa is another classic Dungeons and Dragons monster. They are tiger humanoids. So they're human. They have a humanoid body, but a tiger for a head. And the weird thing about them is that their hands are backwards. That's kind of their whole kind of weird gimmick, is that they have backwards hands. They're very powerful magic users. As you can see, they've been throwing spells at me. Quake might not have been the best spell to purchase. But we took care of them. No problems. Nightmares. They look terrifying. Snort. Didn't do anything. Oh! Alright, it just blinds him. Alright, that's fine. I can handle that. The healing staff. I don't know if he can wear this, or if Julius can wear the healing staff. He can't. It's more of a white mage item. But the interesting thing about the healing staff, and I assume it still works the same way in this game, is that you can use it in battle as an item. So the next fight we get into, we'll try it. Mind flayers. Okay. These ones also live in the ice cave, but we miss them in the ice cave. Mind flayers can kill you in one hit. And even our protect rings, which normally protect against instant death, don't work on the mind flayers. So these are very dangerous enemies. So we're not going to do any tricks. The best defense is a good offense, so we're just going to throw our best stuff at them. Mind Blast is a group-wide paralyze. They are very dangerous enemies, based off of, again, Dungeons and Dragons, and in that game as well, they are very dangerous enemies. So I didn't try my healing staff there. That's okay. I didn't want to chance it. Steel gloves, don't need those. Ice brand, it's the second one of those. That's nice. Ruby armlets. Well, I bought one. Does this do his defense up? You know what? We'll stick to, that's a really strong defense boost. So we will stick it on Fugen for now. I don't think that affects his attack stat any. Attack 30. Stamina 26. Alright, well, we'll give him a little bit of armor. We'll see what happens. Alright, oh my goodness, there's so many of them. Okay, let's try and find the healing staff. The healing staff can be used as an item to cast a healing spell on the entire party. If he doesn't get paralyzed, which he just did. Okay, wow. This could go sideways. Oh, we made it out. It's not a very strong healing spell, but Brock doesn't have group healing, so it's a little bit of extra HP for everybody when somebody uses it. 1,455 gil, 7,340 gil, a cottage, and monsters. What's in here? Clay golems. These are big tough guys. I'll try Quake on them. Ah, they're not so tough. Now we got one of them. Slow him down. No, he casts haste on himself. That's fun. Oh, they're easy. They're easy peasy. No problems whatsoever. Gauntlets. No one can equip the gauntlets. And onward we go. So we have a treasure chest. We have found a rat's tail. It's a key item. A token of valor and strength. I'm a little disappointed the flavor text from the original isn't saved in this one, because when you get it, it says something like, "Oh no, throw it away. Wait, don't." Because this is what we were after. But it's the whole purpose is it's like, oh, you found this, just the tail of a rat. What is this? This doesn't mean anything. This isn't very interesting or powerful looking, but this is what we came here to get. But of course, we do have to fight something to get out of here. 2 dragon zombies. We get a preemptive strike, that's handy. Here, let's try our healing staff. Oh, we can use the gauntlets. So the gauntlets cast Thundera when used, so let's use those instead. And we'll throw a fire rock at them. So it's not very powerful, but it is free. And anyone can use them on their turn. So if I wanted, let's say, Fugen to do an area attack, or Arthur to do an area attack, I could have them use the gauntlets. And the same thing with the healing staff. Anyone can use them. In the original, it had to be in your inventory. Every character had an equipment inventory that it consisted of 4 weapons and 4 pieces of armor. Is he not wearing a helmet? Oh, I sold his hat. Okay, that's fine. I'll deal with that. So you could swap things around, but you could only use the stuff that you were actually carrying on you, even if you didn't equip them. And since, monks didn't have a lot of equipment necessary, they were useful for carrying these items around. But now it's just in your overall inventory, and anyone can just pull it out and use it whenever we want. But we have completed the Citadel of Trials. We've gotten the rat tail. We do have to make the trek back to the airship. But it isn't so bad. I do think it's interesting that the way that they handle lycanthropy in this game is just to make them all venomous. Lycanthropes, werewolves, were-tigers, any of those kind of creatures just inflict poison on you. Which is kind of more of a nuisance than anything, really. Here, why don't we use the gauntlets instead? Free Thundera spell. I don't know if the character's intellect makes a difference. The user's intellect. Arthur gets a point of agility. Brock gets a little bit of HP. Fugen gets agility, stamina, and intellect. So I don't know. We could try it out. I'll have, if I encounter more wyverns, I'll have Arthur use the gauntlets. Now some Remoraz. Well, you know what? We'll have Arthur use the gauntlets and see how much damage it does. One thing I want to find out is if we can all use it every turn. No, see, there we go. It's gone. So because it's being used by someone, no one else can use it. So here we got a heal. Not a lot of HP, but it's a little bit. Quite didn't work. Thunder. Alright, 51, 53. So let's have Julius use them. Wow. Okay, so it is scaled off of your intellect stat. So Julius is the better choice for this item, because he's got the highest intellect out of everybody, but he's also got all the spells. He can just cast the spells himself. But it is free. It means I'm not spending his magic points that would otherwise be spent on Thundera, Fyra, or Hold. So it's an option. Or like, you know, if we've been deep in a dungeon and we've run out of MP, we can just use that. Oops, I landed on the forest. But we got what we came for. Time to go talk to the Dragon King.
Long has it been since men of courage stood before me. Your bravery seems worthy of consideration. The rat's tail you carry is a fitting token of courage and strength. So be it. I shall honor you with titles befitting your valor.
And now we look different.
Restore the crystals to grace.
We have done the class change, one of the coolest things that happens in this game. Arthur is now a knight. Brock is now a red wizard. Fugen is now a master. And Julius is a black wizard. We look a little taller, a little stronger. Fugen looks like some guy out of the 80s. He looks like just like a ripped 80s martial artist. Julius, you see, has cast aside his little straw hat, the classic black mage look. Brock just kind of got a fancier coat. Arthur cut his hair. But this opens up some options. I could equip the gauntlets now. I couldn't before. He can equip other weapons as well. The Ice Brand, for instance. I don't know what happened to his helmet. So now what happens here, this has changed Fugen's stats as well. So his attack stat is now half of his stamina stat plus his strength stat. And his defense goes up a little bit. It's still based on the arms and the head. Every 8 points of stamina, he gets 1 point of defense, but the body is now every 2 points of stamina. So it's basically his stamina in half gives him his defense stat on the body. The Ruby Armlet, still a bit of a boost, so we're going to keep that on him for now. But he's definitely better off fighting with no weapons. We can now learn stronger magic. Brock can learn up to level 7, he can never learn level 8. And of course there are still spells that he can't learn. And Julius can now learn all of the spells. And let's see what we look like on the overworld. So that's Arthur. Brock is kind of the same. Gets a little bit of gold trim at the end of his cape. Here's Fugen, just chilling it, 80s style. And here's Julius. So it's a little bit different from the NES sprite. The reason I named him Julius is because the NES sprite is the sprite that they also used in Final Fantasy Adventure, which was the beginning of the Mana series, and the main antagonist, Julius, uses the same sprite as the Black Wizard in Final Fantasy 1. It was on the Game Boy, so it was still kind of that same sort of style. So it's changed a little bit, but I do really like the Black Wizard. You know, the Black Mage is so iconic with his hat and his little beady eyes and the darkness around his face. But the Black Wizard showing off his face like this is a really cool part of Final Fantasy 1. If we had a thief would be upgraded into a ninja. And then if we had a white mage, the white mage would become a white wizard, and they would have their hood pulled down. And long flowing red hair would come out from underneath. The other thing that's interesting with knights, and it's not visible yet, it says he cannot learn magic, but knights can actually learn a limited amount of white magic. If we had a thief, as I said, he'd become a ninja. Ninjas can learn a limited amount of black magic. So we do have some shopping to do to pick up some new spells and maybe a little bit more equipment, but we have done one of the major side quests in Final Fantasy. This is not mandatory. You don't have to do this, but it definitely helps. It makes you a lot stronger. It opens up a lot of options, especially if you have wizards. And honestly, it just makes you look cooler. I don't know what else to tell you. How about that dance? Alright, good dance. If I pop into the white magic shop, and there you go, you can see he can learn Cure. He can't learn Dia, that's a white wizard only spell. He can learn Protect, and he can learn Blink. So we might as well teach him all three of those. Great. It's not super useful, but it's something that just sort of helps a little bit. We're going to call it here. That was a fun little side quest. And next time we will continue on with the story. We're halfway there to restoring the crystals. This is what we looked like before. Say goodbye to them. Because we are the Warriors of Light. Next time on Let's Playmond with Ted Raymond.